Was smoking all my dragons, divine, righteous, almighty, great, overachieving, never slacking. We got aged like milk. Joe Rogan on Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. So yeah, this is from MMA bouts, and we're gonna get to it. We're gonna see. Let's do it.
Francis Ngannou beat the best heavyweight boxer, and now Anthony Joshua stepped up. Everybody knows that the world heavyweight UFC champion will that dude up in a real fight. He didn't want no part of that. They tried to bring that up. He goes, no, I'm going to fight Usyk for the world title. Ngannou is a character in a movie. If you look at the adversity that that guy went through, he was on my podcast and he told a story about how he escaped the part of Africa he's from and made it all the way to Morocco and then across to Europe, and that he had to do it over 14 months. They did it basically on foot and hitching rides, and 7 times he got arrested and sent back, and they put him in the desert. 7 times. And 7 times he made it back to Morocco and tried to get across again until he gets to France. And then he's homeless. He's sleeping in a parking structure. And he gets taken in by this guy who was eventually his trainer. And then they convince him to do MMA. He wants to box. And they convince him to start training and learning MMA. And a few years later, he's the UFC heavyweight champion.
He said, I never heard about you, but I heard about you. And I said, I have to meet this man. I said, what, you never saw me? He said, no, but I heard about you.
Yeah,
and so I
isn't that
had
wild?
to meet Mike Tyson. So he's looking at me, and he's feeling my arm. He's like, did you really? Are you really Mike Tyson?
Yeah, man. You can say anything you want about the world heavyweight boxing champion, but everybody fucking knows that the world heavyweight UFC champion will fuck that dude up in a real fight. That's the reality of the world. That's the reality. Everybody knows that.
So far it's like, as far as what he's saying, right? And let me, once again, this is coming from, mixed martial artist, boxer, grew up boxing. That was my first love. Basically he's just trying to say, like, when there's leg kicks involved, grappling involved, that Francis Ngannou, if I'm pronouncing his name right, because I don't know why, I just tend to say it wrong, right? Basically saying he would destroy, the heavyweight champion boxer, no matter who. Really speaking on Tyson Fury, and then with no rules, when it's just not just boxing. Now obviously that's more likely the chance, of course, if Tyson can't defend leg kicks and things like that. But I also still feel like you just never know in a real fight either. You still never know. Still never know, right? Because adrenaline, instinct, survival instinct, all that kicks in. And if you know how to move and you can avoid certain things, sure you can. Especially if you're a boxer, you can get a lucky shot or a nice shot on a button or uppercut that just boom that puts him out. Or catch him with an Anthony. What just happened with Anthony Joshua, right? Where Anthony Joshua just was catching him with that right. So when people say that, that's not always the case. It's not always the case. Not everybody's always going to be able to get that grapple on you, or, especially depending on the environment. If it's an open environment where it's not like a cage, and there's more space to move around, right?
Especially everybody who knows he's the baddest dude on the planet. 100%. And the only person that has
a chance
is John Jones. If Tyson Fury fought Francis Ngannou in an MMA fight and beat Francis in an MMA fight, that would be more extraordinary than Francis beating Tyson Fury in a boxing match. Because at least a big part of Francis's skill set is his punching power and his hands. Whereas Tyson Fury has almost no experience in grappling, kicking, any of those skills. If he beat Francis in an MMA fight, that would be like the most incredible thing that anyone's ever done, ever.
I can agree with that statement.
But no boxer has ever said in the middle of their, like as if Manny Pacquiao in the middle of his prime said, I'm going to fight MMA. That would be insane. And you'd probably get his face kicked off, probably get strangled.
I don't know if I agree with that, because it's many people who started off boxing that I ain't gonna say many, but it's been known, they transition into MMA, they can learn to kick still, especially in their prime as an athlete. They can learn to check kicks, they can learn to kick, they can learn. Some people are just naturally talented, so to kind of make it seem like they're always just this one-dimensional person, how many people start MMA or NFL players or this or that start MMA and just, later in their mid-20s and, what was his name? That one guy who was a football player, older too. I forgot his name. But he started MMA later and he did pretty good. He did pretty good.
strangled, probably get taken down, strangled, and he would be helpless. It's a different skill set. There's so much more to MMA.
Like, obviously, if you have zero grappling skills and you're not, to be a good grappler at all, and you go against somebody who's a really good grappler, right? And they take you down and you just suck at defending it, yeah, you're gonna get mauled. But all I'm saying is that's not always the case.
To me, it's more exciting to watch. It's certainly more complicated. It requires more of you. You have to train in multiple disciplines. Not that boxing is not insanely difficult, but MMA is the top. That's the top. The MMA champion is widely regarded by almost anyone who's an expert as being the baddest man on the planet. Whatever weight class it is, the MMA champion is going to dominate someone who is just a boxer.
Right.
But you've got some guys like Mike Tyson. If someone taught Mike Tyson kicking defense and how to take people down, good fucking luck. Good fucking luck when that guy's coming at
you. Yeah, straight up. And we also got to remember Tyson Fury is a freak. A freak of an athlete too. He's a monster, literally. So I'm sure he has a lot of these guys do have the mindset of being unbeatable. And if they could apply that to a year, 2 years of learning grappling and kicking, I wouldn't be surprised. I just wouldn't.
you throwing punches. And Fury's not going to fight him again, I'll tell you that. Yeah. He didn't want no part of that. They tried to bring that up. He goes, no, I'm going to fight Usyk for the world title. Like, nobody wants to see that, buddy.
What they want to see, Joe, is for pay-per-view and streaming to become affordable. Hear this. This is the darkest secret that big broadcasters don't want you to know about. Affordable streaming does exist on iWatchMax.com. They offer access to over 12,000.
Shout out to iWatchMax.com. But we're going to get back to, we're going to get back to this.
Bullshit you want in terms of scorecards. The fucking world, including boxers, all the boxers that were there said that he should have won. If I was Ngannou, I would tell him, I
agree with that as far as Ngannou versus Tyson Fury, for sure. Yeah, Ngannou definitely won that. To me, personally, a lot of people are not going to agree with that, but I feel like he did. Obviously, you still got to beat the champ, but coming fresh off of MMA, this being your first, boxing match, especially against, the best, the top of the top, and you do that good, you won with the people, for sure. You won with the people. And, I watched that. I personally felt like he should have won on scorecards. That's my personal opinion. You don't have to agree.
He might be able to beat them all. I think he's that good. I think he's that much of a freak. He is the man now. He's in demand everywhere. Everybody saw that fight, and now Anthony Joshua stepped up. Whoo!
Yeah. Joshua, he's got so much damn potential.
He definitely does. But he comes back from every fight that he's had better, I mean, one of the most impressive ones was he knocked out Klitschko. Oh, my God.
Klitschko's seen better days, though. He fought great that night.
But Klitschko dropped.
Anthony Joshua would be remind me of kind of the boxing version of Stipe, where it's you beat Stipe once, Stipe's coming back even better the second time. That's like Anthony Joshua. You beat Anthony Joshua and then have to fight him again. It's going to be like a walk in the lowest level of hell.
Stopped him first, and he came back and stopped him. That was a wild fight. Yeah, it's a great heavyweight time right now.
Joshua's no walkover. It's just that for some reason, I don't know, we expect a lot from Joshua for some reason. I guess maybe because English people are so behind and we got caught up in the bandwagon too, but Americans expect a lot out of Joshua for some reason.
Well, he's an Adonis. He's like a perfect specimen. He has crazy power, and he's just an elite athlete. To have the Las Vegas odds, like the online...
I just think Anthony Joshua is one of those people too. He just kind of has that golden boy aura to him. It's just his energy, and people attract to that. He just, like I said, that golden boy champion kind of vibe to him.
And betting odds in the last round in his favor was fucking incredible because it was 14-1 at the start of the fight.
Yeah.
And at the end of the fight, he was favored and he should have won. They fucked him, but they didn't because the world saw it.
Yeah.
He was always more of a striker than anything else anyway, but he's such a quick study. If you look at the fight with Cyril Gane, he beat Cyril Gane with grappling with a fucking completely blown out knee.
Yeah.
But in a perfect world, Francis makes a fucking cajillion dollars and then the UFC re-signs him and then he fights John Jones for the most epic encounter in the history of combat sports. That is a perfect world. Yeah. That's a perfect world. But at least Francis, he got his flowers from the whole world.
Yeah.
The whole world saw it. You can fucking lie all you want. You could have your bullshit scorecards. You could have your paid-off judges. You could have your corruption. You could have your nonsense. Everybody knows what happened in that fight. And what happened in that fight was Francis Ngannou beat the best heavyweight boxer maybe ever. Maybe ever. Right. And then what happens if he fights all those other guys? What happens? That motherfucker hits so hard. And I was always wondering, how is his power with the big gloves on? Well, we fucking know. Yeah. We fucking know. The look on Tyson Fury's eyes when he went down in the third round from that left hook, he was like, oh, Jesus. And there was a moment in the second round that I yelled out. I was like, oh, he hurt him there. In the second round, there was a moment in the clinch where he hit Tyson Fury with an uppercut, but then the commentators didn't even notice it. He hit it with a right hand over the top. And the right hand was a short clubbing right hand. You see the look in Tyson Fury's eyes where he's like, Jesus, that power is fucking extraordinary. But not just the power, but the intelligence to deliver that power in the most high-pressure situation imaginable. Your first boxing match is against the Gypsy King, a 6'9" fucking phenom.
Joe's not saying nothing wrong there. It's true as far as that. Like, yeah, what he did in that fight with Tyson Fury was phenomenal. It was extremely impressive. But Anthony Joshua got to study that and see that. And Anthony Joshua, sometimes you just know when you got somebody's card and when you can beat them. He's seen the holes in his game, and he prepared for it. And he knew exactly how to stop Francis Ngannou.
Who's one of the best
to ever
do it. Amazing. And he just fucking cashed his own check. The Tyson Fury fight, to me, that's a real interesting one.
It's just weird to take him serious because he's fucking really, he doesn't take the fighting serious. He's laughing at people, he's licking their blood. What's wrong with this guy, man?
But Mike, doesn't it take a certain amount of crazy to be the best?
You gotta be out of your you gotta totally be out of your mind.
And that's what he is, right? He's out of his fucking mind.
You're totally out of your mind. Listen, nobody picked this up. What fighter comes in the ring with Patsy Cline crazy? He's trying to tell you I'm losing my mind. He's trying to let the people know I'm fucking losing my mind. I'm crazy. This heavyweight championship's not what I thought it was. This is insanity. Listen, David's known for the father of Israel. He created Israel, right? What's the only thing you know David for? What is he known for? He created the whole nation, but what is he known for?
Killing Goliath.
Yes. He's done so many great things, but the only thing he's known for, if you're not a scholar really, the only thing you know David for is killing Goliath, a fight.
Yeah.
He's known for a fight. He created a whole nation, but he's known for a fight.
Yeah, he killed a big guy with a rock.
Yeah, right? Slingshot. And then he chopped his head off.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Mike Tyson. And what's crazy is the fact that now we got Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. What is going on out here, right? Then I heard about the rules for that fight. It just doesn't even make any sense. Like, what? But Joe Rogan
paid off.
I feel like, you know, he definitely was a super fan of Francis Ngannou, which, you know, I mean, I'm a fan too. You know, it's impressive what he did at the end of the day. But at the end, when it's all said and done, it's like Anthony Joshua was able to sit back and really see, right? He knew, like, I'm telling you, sometimes people know when they got someone's card. Like, he watched, he's seen the holes. Tyson Fury probably didn't take it serious, even though I'm not giving that as an excuse, but because what Francis Ngannou did was just incredible, and it's always going to go down in history to me, and I feel like he won that, but I don't think Tyson Fury took it serious like that, and even if he took it a little serious, he definitely didn't expect for Francis Ngannou to bring that type of skill set, and it definitely shocked him. And Anthony Joshua, it was sometimes some people are just a perfect matchup for specific people. Sometimes someone who's you know, always throwing that left or always throwing a right, but maybe a little sloppy with it. Someone may be able to notice that in their style. They just know, like, okay, if I keep throwing this at him, I'm gonna stop him. Like, it's just certain. You know how they say styles make fights. Anthony Joshua and his team, they just knew it. They knew. And they got the job done. So with that being said, original link in the description. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Much love to all of you.